Yeah, that's what's up. What did prison strip away from you mentally before it taught you anything?
Uh, Prison stripped away that crash out mentality. Because when you down the road, you crash out, you're gonna have a hard bid. When I went to prison, I had three kids. I got six now. I had three more when I came home. But having three young kids when I went to prison, um, I had to realize like I can't even really depend on their mother to keep me in contact with them or bring them down there to see me. So even though I miss them and I'm emotional about that, I got to be able to control that. I got to do my time and pray that my children safe and God protect them for when I come home, but I couldn't even allow that to get me too emotional. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it really taught me how to control my emotions.
Okay. What lessons did prison teach you that school, family, or the streets never did?
That's a good question. Not I mean what I just said previous, controlling my emotions, but prison also taught me uh discipline. Discipline. Literally getting up, making your bed, and having a itinerary, a schedule, having something to do every day. Like I didn't really, like I said, I grew up in the system, so your foster parents really ain't gonna be on you like that. As long as you don't burn the house down and you don't kill nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like they really don't be on you like that. So, but in prison, you don't make up your bed, you get a ticket. You do it too many times, they might send you to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just showed me like, yo, like have discipline. Like, okay, I'm gonna wake up today. This what I got planned. My downtime, I'm gonna do something constructive, like read. I was working out heavy, so it really taught me how to make a schedule and move like a man.
Okay, cool. Um, what mistakes do you see people make during reentry that push them backwards?
They don't change their mind. They don't change their state of mind. Everything is mental first. So they a lot of guys treat prison like criminal college. Like, oh, I just got smarter. I learned a new hustle. I met a new plug, and I'm gonna move different this time. But it's like ain't nothing new under the sun. So it's like you gonna get jammed up again. And a lot of guys don't make that decision in their head, like, man, I ain't never going back. That's why they end up with multiple numbers. So I see a lot of guys that just don't make that decision of like, okay, I gotta do something different, and it gotta be drastic, you know. In drastic times, you gotta make drastic decisions. So yeah, I don't sometimes guys make that mistake of thinking they a smarter criminal when they get out, when it's like really you dumber.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, ain't no doubt. Why did you choose to work with at-risk youth instead of just moving on with your life?
Well, that wasn't something I immediately decided when I got out, because like I said, I got out in 2014 and I didn't start working with at-risk youth until around the time we met. So what was that, about 2023?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was almost 10 years. In that time, I was trying to figure it out, working regular jobs, factories, warehouses, machine operating, just trying to figure it out. But I always knew I never wanted to be in the back of nobody's warehouse. I never wanted to be on nobody's tow motor, not taken away from anybody who do that type of work. But I just felt like God put me on earth to work with the community, and I feel like I'm a people person. So around the pandemic, around 2020, that's when I like decided, started making the first steps. Like, yo, I want to work with the community. And I had planned like a trash pickup that didn't happen, but I took the steps to reach out to people and see what I had to do to make it happen. It was like a trial run. And I kind of just happened to end up working with the youth because I met a guy named Art McCoy from the city who been doing community work for about 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he liked my approach. So he said he had a program through his organization called the Man and Man program that he wanted me to facilitate. And I was all for it. And it was a program like mentoring the youth. And that's really how I started. And at that time, I had already had 5 children, and I'm the big brother in my family. I already had nieces and nephews that I would just talk their ear off for hours, you know. So I had a lot of practice. So it just came naturally.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. What do you see in these young men that remind you of yourself?
Man, I see everything, man. Everything from I'm mentoring youth that go to the schools that I used to go to when I was young, you know, and just when I speak to them and I ask them what they home life like, is they father there, and a lot of them, the young boys that I work with that's in the worst situations, they with an aunt or their granny or something because they mother or their father ain't in their life. So that really remind me of myself, and I just everything, man, everything. Like sometimes I be around some of the youth and I gotta like remove myself because I get emotional because it bring back memories and situations that I was in. So literally everything. I am the youth that I work with.
Okay. What's the biggest misconception young people have about prison and street life?
The biggest misconception, I don't know if offhand I could say the biggest, but at least one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's cool. You know that somehow it's like it's cool. Like that's what they supposed to be doing. They supposed to be in the streets, and eventually they supposed to go to prison. Like when I was growing up, me and my homeboys looked at prison like college. Like a lot of teenagers, they know they gonna finish high school and then they gonna go to college. But us, we kind of knew like, okay, eventually we gonna go down and do some time. I got a homeboy that did a 10, that did a 10 ball, and I remember hearing him say, one day I'm gonna do like 10 years in prison. And he wound up doing 10 years, you know. So it was in the back of all of our minds that we was gonna go down. And eventually most of us did, a lot of us did. So that's just a misconception. It's just how we was programmed, like, you know, just from the music we listen to, the entertainment, everything in our culture, we just feel like we have to go through that. We have to be in the streets, and it's a misconception because we don't have to go through that. You know, just as we just got to change our mentality. It's sad that some of us have to go through that for us to change, but we don't have to.
Right, exactly. And then real quick, uh I think a big misconception is that the homies, the friend thing, the guys that you riding with now doing all this stuff with, you think that they gonna be with you if you go down through all them times, but when you get in that room and that door closed, you be by yourself. You be all by yourself, you know.
Hold on,
So
let me close this window. It's a lot of noise out here.
all right.
No, you absolutely right, man. That'd be like one of the first things that hit you when you go down. Like you be like, oh, it hit you like, oh no, like you be like, F them. Like
Yeah,
it's
then you
all love, but y'all don't really care about me.
Yeah, then you mad at them. But then when I start really thinking about it, and this didn't happen till I was older and out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Because while I was in there, it's a negative place, and it's easy to be like, "Oh, I don't f with them. I don't mess with them. They ain't send me no pictures. They ain't write me. They ain't come see me." But before I got locked up, we was busted. We wasn't doing much of nothing on the street anyway. They didn't have nothing to look out for themselves. So now that I'm
Right.
locked up, they definitely ain't got nothing to look out and take care of me. So, yeah, that's a big misconception too. Just to piggyback off what you said.
Yeah, no doubt.